For centuries, sailors in the North Atlantic passed down warnings of a shadow rising from the freezing depths. They described an animal so massive it was sometimes mistaken for a living island, capable of wrapping its tentacles around a ship's hull and pulling it under. These accounts represent genuine encounters with an environment completely alien to human life, documented by the people who first mapped the world's oceans. When a human eye catches a fleeting glimpse of unfamiliar marine biology in pitch-black water, the brain struggles to process the incoming data. To bridge the gap, it pulls from our deepest survival instincts, replacing a biological reality with supernatural terror. We're going to unmask 3 of history's deadliest sea monsters to find the real biological predators hiding behind the legends. Let's go back to that North Atlantic nightmare, the Kraken. Early Norse sagas and 18th century nautical texts painted it as the ultimate apex predator. If it breached the surface, its sheer mass would create whirlpools capable of dragging entire fleets into the abyss. That myth is anchored in a biological reality, the giant squid, a massive deep-sea cephalopod reaching lengths over 40 feet. These squids live their entire lives in the deep ocean, thousands of feet below the sunlit zone. We rarely ever see them alive. The only time they naturally flume up into human territory is when they near the end of their lifespan and surface for their final moments. Put yourself on the deck of a 17th century wooden schooner. The seas are rough. The night is pitch black. Suddenly, a 40-foot alien breaches the surface, its massive tentacles thrashing wildly as it shoots water from its siphon before sinking back into the cold. The Kraken was a dying deep-sea animal, recorded by terrified men who couldn't identify what was thrashing before them in the dark. Halfway across the world in the warm waters off Baja, Mexico, a much different shadow haunts the local fishermen. They whisper about El Demon Negro, the black demon shark. It's described as a massive, jet-black beast reaching 50 feet in length, sporting a gaping mouth wide enough to swallow a boat or a whale. Local fishermen who have spent their entire lives on this water are highly experienced with this standard local fauna. They know exactly what a docile, spotted whale shark looks like, which is why they insist the dark, aggressive shape is something entirely different. Those cavernous jaws tell a different story. On rare occasions, a 50,000-pound basking shark wanders from the Pacific into the Sea of Cortez. Basking sharks possess ashy, dark gray skin and a body shape remarkably similar to a great white. Because they eat the exact same plankton as baleen whales, they often follow them along the surface. To a fisherman, working is low light. This massive, dark profile swimming near whales with an open maw looks exactly like an oversized predator. The demon shark is a gentle, 50,000-pound filter feeder, rendered terrifying purely by its rare presence and terrifying anatomy. If we travel west to the rocky coastlines of the Sea of Japan, the folklore turns entirely surreal. Here we find the legend of the Kagawani, or the shadow shark. Instead of attacking boats outright, the Kagawani was said to hunt silently near the surface, waiting to swallow the shadow of anyone careless enough to lean over the water. According to the myth, if a person's shadow was consumed by this beast, the person themselves would instantly vanish into the rough seas forever, leaving their crewmates with a mystery and an empty deck. The deep water biology unique to the Japanese coast reveals a candidate for this legend, the Megamouth shark. It's a 20-foot deep-sea filter feeder, sporting a disproportionately huge, dark mouth. Imagine peering over the side of a small boat centuries ago. You block the sun, casting a shadow on the water. Directly beneath that shadow, a massive, bulbous, dark shape slowly rises, opening a void-like mouth right where your silhouette falls. The visual illusion makes it look exactly as if the ocean is swallowing the darkness itself. The Kagawani was an earnest, pre-scientific attempt by coastal villagers to make sense of a terrifying, fleeting glimpse of one of the ocean's rarest giants. The ocean is a realm of specialized animals perfectly adapted to survive in the dark, their forms distorted only by human imagination. But if tales of krakens and shadow sharks turned out to be flesh and blood animals, you have to wonder, what other legendary creatures are still out there right now, waiting for us to turn on a light. The world is full of these brain lags, mysteries that force your mind to stop for a second and question reality. Let me know which one we should dive into next.